So much joy. And so today is going to be our last cleanse in this lunar cycle. And you know that we are always working new moon to full moon to align with this amazing pull. This is a gravitational pull, magnetic pull on our being, the new moon, of course, until the full moon. And so Divine Mother told me, and we just got back last night from Mount Shasta. So I had to cancel our 5 p.m. call because it was too much snow to get out of Mount Shasta. But anyway, so Divine Mother has been telling me what needs to happen in this lunar cycle. And it's very, very exciting. But to be able to understand what's going on, I just want to say something about the nature of our reality. I was visited by Yogananda yesterday at Mount Shasta when I was chanting. And I was chanting the mantra that Divine Mother gave us recently to chant, which is Om, Aim, Kleem, Som. And so I was doing my morning routine and the sun was rising and I was sitting in the bedroom just looking, through the window. It was way too cold to go outside. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm just thinking, okay, well, Divine Mother gave us this chant in the last lunar cycle. And she just said, chant this. And I trust her more than I trust any teaching delivered on this planet because, things are changing every day. So the thing is that I always think about it this way. All teachings are always delivered for the time on the planet. So you see it, for example, when you follow Patricia Cota-Robles, that every week something new is happening in the ethers. And so she makes her weekly video that is what is needed. She calls it the need of the hour, right? Because the divine plan, you would be surprised, but it changes often. It really changes depending on what is happening, what are humans thinking, what are humans doing, what are humans feeling. And so depending on the coherence of the collective, we have new things that can be done or not. And so to me, yes, a huge shift in 2012, but look what happened actually. If you really look into the ethers, if you study where the Earth is today, the Earth is in a whole new place. The Earth is no longer in that darkness of the galaxy. We moved the Earth, and I know I always say it sounds like science fiction, but multidimensional reality that we are part of. One of you posted a quote in the chat recently, which I really loved, which was something to do with the Bible and something where in the house of my father, there are many mansions. And if you know the quote from the Bible, I think it is, please do post it in the chat because that's exactly what multidimensional reality is. The many mansions to me is that we have so many different dimensions, we have many different realities, we have so many different parallel realities, we have worlds within those dimensions. And so, for us human beings, we are not used to this multidimensionality, most of us, because our lives didn't seem like they were so multidimensional unless we uncovered the mystery within, which is the mystery of our own body, that allows us to experience actually really other realities. Exactly. Thank you, Gurga. That's what it is. I'm very excited about it because Yogananda came to me yesterday. He doesn't often come. To me, you can think of the guru and you can start like visualizing the guru. It's very different from when they materialize for you and they come. And I wanted to actually share something about it. There's a lot I wanted to share since yesterday. So number one, now the Earth is in a whole new place. The Earth was actually moved, believe it or not, in 2021 to a new place within the galaxy. Now, how is this even possible is always the question, right? Because Patricia, she speaks about it too, and she uses different language, and she says the coordinates of the Earth have been adjusted. So if you trust Patricia, then think about what that means. I experienced it myself, and I was part of what happened that day, and I don't even know how, because sometimes you don't understand things, like how can we be part of something so big? But I just want to say, I got to not only witness it, I got to participate in it. And again, that's part of our multidimensional reality, that we can participate in these other realities as if it's happening right here, right now. But it's about a shift into the third eye. That's how I see it. And you shift yourself into another way of being. So just that, 2021 is so recent, created a huge change. And so maybe there are many different chants we can use, but Divine Mother came to me in the last lunar cycle and she said, chant, as you posted here in the Om, Aim, Kleem, Som. And so I was sitting, meditating, and I just was finishing my morning practice, and then I was going to chant this for 10 minutes. And I said to Divine Mother, I said, well, you will let me know when some new chant is needed. But until you let me know, I'm just going to chant this, because you said this is the most powerful thing we can do. So I trust you more than any other teaching delivered before even, 2012, before really 2021, because things have changed. But if you go to Divine Mother, or like Patricia goes to what she calls the company of heaven, you will get the new. And we want to always get the new. We don't want to be repeating stuff that no longer applies, right? To me, that's like the big deal. We don't want to be repeating stuff that no longer applies when there is a higher reality. And the higher reality is amazing. And so I'm sitting there and I'm chanting, I'm doing my 108 repetitions. And I was just really feeling the sunrise. And suddenly, I was not even thinking about Yogananda. And he materialized, because that's what they can do, of course. All the saints can materialize in front of you. And he just smiled at me like he's smiling in this picture. This is the closest, and this was yesterday. So, how do you know when it is the real deal? Your emotional body reacts without you actually calling it in. Your mental body is transformed. And what happens when they show themselves in front of you, when they materialize, you instantaneously are, like, in a way, emotionally responding. That means you burst into tears. And it happens every single time. You burst into tears because the intensity of it is something, if you're just imagining Yogananda in your third eye and you're imagining Yogananda in consciousness, you will not have the emotional response. But when they come to you and they transmit, your emotional body is in unbelievable divine, really, it's like a humility, bliss, honor. It's all of it, it's the love. And even if it's not your guru as such, it doesn't matter. Your emotional body will have the same response. You burst into tears because you are moved by the divine energy that comes. And that's amazing. So, to me, that's like, And so then he disappeared immediately, but he smiled so big when I was chanting. And I knew that it was a confirmation. This chant is doing some magic in this world. It is the chant of Divine Mother. And I just, I ran to my husband again. He was in the kitchen downstairs at Mount Shasta. And I was like in tears. I was so, and, I'm transmitting the energy to you, with you here. That's why I quickly chose the picture here so you can see this is how he came. He even had a turban on, which very often you will find these beings have in higher dimensions. I always say Uncle Jesus. You will even find that Uncle Jesus likes to wear turbans. And I don't know the reason for why they do it, but you will also find that when you meet them in these higher realms, very often they have a crystal kind of planted into the etheric third eye, and they are emanating light from the third eye. Yeah, I hope everybody can feel it, So I always say I would never be sharing anything if I didn't have these divine confirmations that we are on the right path, and that these amazing, saints, really, who have been here before in this reality, and they transmitted so much knowledge and so much life force to this world, that they keep coming back and just saying, keep going. This is important. This is important. And so I ask, when you read the teachings of Yogananda, we can read and read and read and read and read, but it's not the same like actually self-realization. So the self-realization to me is the key, and that's what we do here. That's the most important thing. And why and what? To me, just being able to have these experiences of what is our reality is really important. Like if we don't understand our reality, how can we live our life fully? Our lives were meant to be so beautiful. And this is the transmission for today. I was asked to speak about the nature of our reality. And so I will speak about it, and then we'll go and do the cleanse. So, for example, you know, if whatever practices you have, put more intention into the practices these days, because these days are big. They are really, really big. And so, you know, it's the breathing exercises, it's the meditation, it's the intention, but what is it all about really? And I want to come back to what Divine Mother said. And, you know, I got to meet Lord Shiva and I got to meet Lord Vishnu. And I am so always blown away by what is out there, what is in here. And why don't we really know fully? You know, most of humanity doesn't understand. And when you get to meet our divine parents, I showed the picture here, you know, this is what it looks like pretty much. It's like we are in a dream, cosmic, very big, big, big cosmic dream. And we all get to participate in this. And to me, like, I really don't know if this is the maximum reality we can explore or not, but I just share what I've seen. I would say our Father, what Yogananda called the Lord, you know, is really Shiva. And again, I'm just saying it from my own perspective, what I've seen, but it's very interesting. So after I got to meet Shiva and I met Shakti, and I realized we are all children in this beautiful rainbow dream, and that every day we are not asked to be perfect. We are not asked to be perfect, but we are asked to use energy that is here. You see this rainbow light, that's energy, with love. And now with love for what? With love for really the cosmic parents. And you can say, I'm more in love with the mother, I'm more in love with the father, or I love them both equally. But to understand that we are part of this dream, and it's an amazing, amazing, amazing adventure. It is an honor. It comes with this, you know, also ability to create, but also if you really love someone, and let's say someone that is not like, you know, intimate partner, but think about the greatest love you've ever experienced in your life. So for example, for me, it was definitely my grandfather and my grandmother. But with my grandfather, I had this unbelievable bond since I was born. It was like, you know, remembering other lifetimes with him all the time. And so because I was so in love with him, think about the person like that, someone that you loved with, I mean, like it is said, with all your heart. Then would you ever want to kind of do something against them? Would you ever want to take the gifts they give you and misuse them, or, you know, waste them? Let's say waste. Misuse is a big word. Let's say waste. You would never, right? Because you say, I love this person so much. I'm going to be the best version of myself. I'll be so loving, because that is the connectivity between you and them. Isn't that true? Let me know if that makes sense. If you truly, truly loved someone without sexuality, then you always want to be in service. You always want to be the best version of yourself for them. It's a strange thing, isn't it? So that's also why we have the gurus, because the guru represents this divine union here. They come here to represent the union. And then through them, we love the divine, but we also can love the divine directly when we get to really realize it. Because once you get to know Divine Mother, once you get to know Divine Father, then you too want to every day wake up and say, oh my goodness, I am so excited to be part of this. I love my cosmic parents, not because we believe in them. I do recommend not be a believer, but to be someone who really gets to have that contact. Through all the practices you have, it's possible. You know, the breathing techniques, the meditation techniques, the way that we live, the way that we think, suddenly something can happen and you can have a breakthrough and actually meet with Divine Mother, meet with Divine Father. Yes, experience them. you will never, ever, ever be able to then wake up in the morning and feel down. It's not possible, actually. Once you get to see the beauty of who you are within creation, you wake up as a child of the divine dream, and then you dream beautiful things into being, but not just for yourself. It's like a whole new level of existence. So our goal is not to be a human. I'm sorry to say that, but our goal is to be, again, the divine child of this creation. And hopefully nobody's feeling offended by being a child, but there are zillions of us in cosmos, but we all have the amazing opportunity to wake up in the morning and to say, I love life so much, life with a capital L, this eternal life. Think about how eternal this life is. Right now, you are just a character. We are all characters here. I've seen how all of us are just characters. But the thing is that we all are invited, and it's possible for us to be characters who love life. If we can just love life with a capital L, it means loving the cosmic life, loving all of it, with all our heart and feeling connected. We are never weak, never, ever. We are never, incapable. We are actually incredibly capable. We just have to remember how to do it. And so today we will do our final cleanse, and then we will go into mastery. The next few days will be mastery. And just know, there is a human self. The human self thinks, I suffered, and this person was not nice to me. I got sick, and then I struggled. But that's the human self. The divine self, which is now within us more than ever before. I don't think Yogananda was able even to really tell the full picture then, because there was so much that humanity was not ready for. But now we are ready for this. When you truly embody your divine self, the human self dissolves. There are many different ways of explaining this, but when you make room within your being, when you really make room within your being, when you let go truly and deeply, physically, emotionally, mentally, etherically, when you truly let go, you come in fully. People say walk-ins. I'm not sure how that should work, but the thing is that you are the one who should walk in fully, not someone else in your body. It is you who should really come in fully. And so you can think about it as when you empty thyself from the stories and the histories, the beliefs, the judgments, and so on and so on. When we truly let go, we empty our being, and suddenly the divine self can fully walk in, be downloaded, expand. And it's okay to, we have to know we are still navigating this reality here, which is just one of the many realities happening at the same time. But we have a goal. So, I traveled through those parallel realities that I compared to the strings on the guitar. Many, many realities. They are all happening right now. They are parallel realities. And maybe you watched the video that I shared this morning in the email, where you have the two near-death experiences, and both of them are just amazing. Because one of them shares how there is this amazing, the highest version of you exists. And when we connect to the highest version of us, we can truly transform this life, personally and collectively. So that was one of the near-death experiences. The other near-death experience with the pilot was amazing too, because he gets to see all these strings and he gets to choose which one feels the best. And it was amazing. So we all are connected more than we can imagine into one collective soul in every reality. The higher we go, the more we are absolutely synchronized. So the higher you go, as you can also see here, imagine being in a reality, which is the ultimate consciousness, and you are there with all of humanity. Humanity is one collective soul. So when the collective soul is made up of little cells, we are those cells. So you can think of it as one being with many cells, 8 billion of us. And when the cells are out of harmony, the collective soul is mentally ill because there is no harmony within the collective soul. It means it's a split personality soul. So we are here in this reality, humanity with a split personality collective soul. But it is up to us to actually change that. But how do we change that? You know, every single person in this world is deeply connected to us. I was thinking, you know, in America, we have politics that always, it's right, left, you know, Trump, Biden, people hate one, they love the other, but that's not a good collective soul when we don't understand that. And I'm just going to use the American example. Biden and Trump are part of our collective soul. The right and left is part of the collective soul. The good and bad is part of the collective soul. So we all need to actually up the game to understand the temptation of this. That's a huge temptation to constantly be not part of the collective soul consciously. And so what do we do? What do we do? Number one, it's always cleansing thy own being, right? And to get rid of all that is still blocking the ultimate consciousness from happening in this reality. This reality, we are just characters. When you go to a higher reality, we too are there, also characters. When you go to the highest reality, you also are there, just a character. You are always a character in a reality. There's nothing too real about it, but yet it is happening. Now, why is it happening? We are all constantly invited to become more and more and more and more harmonious with each other. It actually is about the collective more than it is about the individual. It is so much more about the collective than anyone can imagine unless they get to see it. It's like a whole new level of collective consciousness, why it is so important. And so when we understand this, and you know, I always speak from experience, so when you get to see this, you see the beauty that is possible for all of us humans. When we get to connect at the level of balance, harmony, and the consciousness of we are part of one collective soul, without a denial, there is only one collective soul. So in this reality where we seem to be focused, it seems like this is all that's happening right now, doesn't it? But when you actually expand your consciousness, you might be able to also perceive all the other realities. It gets very confusing, of course, and it would be hard to focus. So at least it's possible to visit them and to learn from them. So you can go to these higher realities and learn about the potential that humanity has if they start synchronizing with each other, because that version of reality already exists. And so I think that's why they allow us, some of us, to go and see it and come back and talk about it. You know, we all have different purpose here, but the purpose is help everyone you can to come to harmony within their own being, to lift their consciousness up so that no one believes that suffering actually is real, because it really is a condition as a character that we've created through our thoughts, feelings, words, actions, and so on and so on. But every single moment offers an amazing opportunity. There is no such thing as it's going to take a long time, it's going to be quick. Whatever we decide to do, we can always make that shift. You can make the shift every single day to ultimate consciousness if you choose to. What does it require? It requires relaxing, letting go, trusting, and surrender. Nothing beats that if you really know what that means. And so every day, you know, it's good to remind ourselves, you know, am I this person here? Am I really this? Is this who I really am? And the answer is no. But as I am here a character, how about being a really wonderful character? How about assisting others to open up perception and understanding reality? And the last thing about reality, what's happening right now, is that, you know, it's completely okay to be empty. Because when we are empty, we are filled with divine light. We are filled with divine love. Nothing can offend us anymore then. Nothing can shake us, because then you are so fearless, because you know exactly who you are. We are fearless beings. You know, Christ consciousness is fearlessness, because it is the total understanding of who we are. And so this is where we are going. Now, Divine Mother opened the cage. This is the time to actually remember how to create and how to create realities. Now, how to create realities will be super, super important for us. She told me last year, just so that you know, and I mentioned this before, she said she will be stretching this world because she wants everything to become flexible, not so rigid. She's not the mother of rigidity. She is the ultimate flow after all. And she said she will be using Pluto. She was like, okay, I'm going to use Pluto to change things up a little bit. And so I didn't know what exactly she meant, because I'm not an astrologer, but I believe that Pluto is starting to change us, and it will continue to do so. And so remember just one thing. Right now is the time to become incredibly flexible. That does require letting go, doesn't it? Because as long as we believe something and we insist that that's how it is, it's good to let go even of all the spiritual knowledge that we believe that that's how it is. I let go of it all. And if none of this is how I perceive it, that's okay. It's really okay to empty yourself completely, to have no ideas about anything, but to have love. I love the divine. Let's love the divine. And if we cannot love the divine, we can love, you know, maybe life. We can love nature. Nature is manifested divine. When Divine Mother manifested herself in a physical reality, she manifested as nature. So we can love nature, I think, all of us very easily. And so, you know, she is a portal to more. The guru is a portal to more. And so we can also choose a guru. If you like Yogananda, you know, look at his sweet face. And if you like Kalishvara, look at his sweet face. They are portals. They are not the end game, you know? So it's also important to understand everything should lead to actually our cosmic parents. And so whatever we can do to get to this. Yeah. So practicing love every day is it's gonna go a long way, of course, but also liberating the being, liberating and saying, you know, maybe none of this really matters. The only thing that really matters is like, how much love do I have in my heart? Because it really comes to that. That's where our true influence is and our true purpose is, of course, but also to be a creator being. So let us go and clean up a little bit. This is the one that I don't know where it comes from, but I have it. The one where we work with the Devas, and the closest we found something with Oren and Daben also, and I don't have it here anymore. But this is the one, I don't know from which album it is, but I'll play that. And so that we know, today on this humanly made calendar, it is the 31st of March. And so we will be working today with the cleanse, and then the next few days until the full moon, we'll be stepping into creating. We'll be creating. We'll be learning how to create and how to do it reliably. And again, you know, we are never asked to be perfect, but we are always asked to connect with the divine self. And through the divine self, maybe to a guru, but ideally to Divine Mother, Father, God directly, because this is the time to do it. And so always, every day, you know, who am I in this picture? I'm a child. I am a child. I'm learning how to create. You know, when we learn to create, we create with love, always with love. And so that's what is unfolding here on planet Earth. And so when the changes come, we know how to create something new. So this is so exceptional. I know that all of you know exactly what we're doing here is really magic. It's the mystery. This is the super power within us is awakening. This has never happened on planet Earth in this civilization since the fall of Atlantis. So now humanity has choices. Number one, it all starts with personal choices. If you ever look at another human being and say, I don't like this person, then we have to remember that is another cell within this one collective soul. And when we say, I don't like that person, we are taking life force from this cosmic dream, which is the rainbow light, and we are making it dirty. We are any thoughts that judge or feel disconnected from all are taking the rainbow light and giving it this dirt. And so imagine when we remember what's happening, we are now taking rainbow light, and the rainbow light from source, from Divine Mother, Father, God, you can call them what you want. I call them Shiva Shakti because that's what they look like. And so you can say, I'm a child of Divine Mother. I am a child of this cool, very cool Divine Father. None of this, none of the old guy in the sky. This is a very cool Divine Father we have. And so if you remind yourself to sit in their lap every day and say, I'm here dreaming with you. I represent you with my love for this amazing creation. I can expand creation with love. It takes connectivity. The connection moment is really important. We cannot be disconnected and then do whatever we think we want to do because it's going to hurt. We want to be connected in love and then be that incredible force of love in this world. And I always say, I'm a child. You can say, I like saying it, I'm a child of Shiva. I don't have a dad, so it's kind of cool saying I'm a child of Shiva. And so I'm a child of Divine Mother. And then you look at this world, and then you think something amazingly beautiful. And then you say beautiful words, even if that might not be your, logical reaction. We want to become a little bit illogical. We want to become so blissful for no reason. We want to look at this world and say, I love this world. I love this human family. I love my brothers and sisters, no matter what. That is a little illogical because normally we would say, well, I like you, I don't like you, I like you, I don't like you. But we want to be a little illogical. We want to say, I am a force of love. And from this rainbow connection that I have within me, where I've connected to Mother, Father, God, I can only see the rainbow in all. And so how about assisting? How about being of service? How about asking that all of humanity is liberated from this karmic liability? That's amazing, isn't it? And one thing, so when you go to this higher reality where we all figured it out, we stop actually seeing each other as really separate. We stop seeing each other also as this is my family, but this is not my family. This is my friend. This is not my friend. Everybody actually then is a family. It's pretty amazing. One thing that I notice in this higher world as well, this other reality where we are as humanity, every single one of us is there. We stop charging each other. So, think about it. We stop charging each other. We start gifting each other. It's very different and I love going, to these other places because then you come back here and you bring the blueprint with you and you say, so there is a way to do this. There is a way to have governments. We will need some kind of, councils on this planet who are the conscious ones guiding us, because it's nice to kind of, be organized, right, as a collective. But without these unconscious governments, without the unconscious monetary system, without the unconscious education system, Divine Mother, when she takes me to these places, she says, yeah, you will still be teaching the kids here, but different things. And the many things we'll be teaching is music, is expansion of creative power, is creation, it is geometry, it is singing, it is dancing, it is all about nature. We'll be teaching about nature, when the kids come here, but we'll be learning from them, number one, and so on and so on. So there's so much to be said about all this. And so it's really beautiful. So we'll be co-creating this the next few days until the 5th of April. We shall be creating all of this here in this reality, synchronizing, harmonizing. And I promise this is the last thing. There are two ways humans synchronize. Number one is love, joy, bliss. And the other one is when there is cataclysm. And then everybody goes into this oh no, and then everybody's in, oh no, but that's also synchronization. But it's, to me, not the first choice we have. The first choice should always be, let's synchronize through love and through joy, because that is the invitation, and it's an option. We want to choose that option. So not pain, but joy and love. Yes, I have to post like 10 videos that we've recorded here because we finally got home, and so I can do it on my computer here. So I'll do that. Thank you so much. Many blessings. 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll be repeating. Thank you.